Hello everybody, this is Pat from TCG Source, and today we're going to be doing an April 1st ban list deck profile of the Nekroz. I just want to go ahead and start off by saying the side deck is one card away from being done, and so is the extra deck, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what I would put in there, or what I would have put in there if I had it done. So everything else is done, and it's almost done. I plan on finishing it. I just wanted to put this up so that you guys have this for the new ban list coming up. So we're going to start off with the monsters in the main deck. So we're going to run 2 Senju of the 1,000 Hands. I'm going to go ahead and zoom into this. This card is really good for searching out your monsters that search out other things. 2 is a pretty good number. He's easy to side out, so that's why we only play 2 of him. We're going to play 3 Manju of the 10,000 Hands. This card searches out both spells and monsters, so it's super good in that ability. And he's easily paired with other cards that we have in this deck. We play 1 Dance Princess to the Nekroz. I feel like this card is good with both of its effect when it's on the field or when it's tributed. It gives you really good utility, and I do only play 1 because of that. So next we have 3 Strategist of the Nekroz. There's no reason not to play 3 of him. He's the full tribute for Nekroz monsters, and he gives you a free search for a ritual monster when he's tributed. So he's super good in that aspect, and there's really not a reason to play 3 of them. So we play 1 Nekroz of Gungnir. This card is super good to defend your Nekroz monsters from spells, traps, and battle. So in that regard, I only play 1 of them because I only feel like I ever really need 1 of them. Then we play 1 Nekroz of Decisive Armor. Apocalypse Towers is a thing, guys, and this card does help against that. If you have like a Trishula or something like that, definitely use Decisive Armor for him. You know, attack right over him and pray that your opponent doesn't have a response to that attack. And then we're going to go ahead and play 2 Nekroz of Colossalist. There's a lot of other cards in this deck that do search out spell cards, including the spell cards themselves. So I feel like Colossalist at 2 is a really good number, and I'll talk about what I have for that as well. This card a lot of people play 1 of, but I like having 2 just because of his second effect. 2 Nekroz of Trishula. I like having 2 of them because you never know when you might need his banishing effect, but also he has a really good hand effect that if a Nekroz monster is targeted by a card effect, just negate that. I feel like that's also a really good card, so I really like having 1 in my hand just in case anything like that were to happen for my Nekroz. So that's why I play 2. Again, he's easily sideable down to 1, and some people don't even play him at all, but I feel like he's a really great card. We have 2 of this guy, as you know, Nekroz of Brionic is limited down to 2, so you can only play 2 of him. He's the main searcher of deck, searches out your monsters, and he's a really awesome card to have in combination with, you know, Insector, Exobeetle goes into Quasar goes off the field, all that good stuff. You should know the combo. If not, you can go ahead and take a look at that. I'll probably post that in the future, but really cool combo, really cool card, and you gotta play 2 of them. And the reason why playing 2 of them is not that much of a problem is because of this guy here, Nekroz of Unicorn. We play 3 of him. You know, getting stuff back from the graveyard for Nekroz stuff is good. And also, if you have Manju on the field, then you just bring him out with one of the spell cards, and you can easily go for the Lavalval Chain top deck, or just keep him on the field to negate your opponent's excuse me, effect from the extra deck. So next we have Valka's Love, Valka's Life. This card is super duper awesome. Really definitely should play 3. I can't tell you how many situations I've run into where I needed Valk and I needed to negate the battle phase. And his other effect is really awesome too, and he's just a really high attack monster, 2,900 for Nate Star. He's super awesome, and I feel 3 is an awesome number for him. So that does it for our monsters. So we have quite a few monsters in here, but with very good reason. It is a ritual deck, so we need all of these in the deck. So next we have 1 Regeki. This card is still pretty good in the game. Actually, still really good in the game. Most people side it out. Some people main deck it. I like to main deck it. You never know when you're gonna need it in the duel. And we play 1 Preparation of Rites. Again, ban list only allows you to play 1 now for April, so playing 1 is kind of all we have in the game. But if you open up with this in the beginning of the game, it's excellent. Later on in the game, it can also save you. This card just really doesn't lose its value. So next we play 2 Reinforcement of the Army. This deck searches a lot as it is, and this card really does help to search out for Shred or Colossus, but this deck searches enough, so we made room for another card. So 2 is a really good number for this. We play 2 Mystical Space Typhoon. Again, we have other cards in here that can handle you know, spells and traps, as well as you know, sided in some cards, so I'll show you why we play 2 later. We play 2 Nekroz Cycle. This card is super duper awesome. I play 2 of it, and some people only play 1, but again, I've ran into times where I've had to get some back from the graveyard, and you know, it's just a super duper good card in that aspect. So then we have triple Nekroz Mirror. This card again is really cool. It's mainly used for Trishula and Valkyris and stuff. It lets you banish from the graveyard, so it's a really good card in that aspect as well. And in my opinion, the best ritual spell card we have, Nekroz Kaleido Mirror, lets you use material from your extra deck to special summon the ritual monsters from your hand. Really good in that aspect as well. So those are our spells. And believe it or not, we're not done. Because this deck isn't very trap heavy, we only have 3 traps. And because I say this deck isn't very trap heavy, there's pretty much no reason not to run Triple Royal Decree. It does stop your opponent in his tracks. I was thinking about siding triple traps done, but I haven't yet. Since this deck doesn't rely on the traps, it's really important to kind of stun your opponent's ability to use traps as well, because if you can do that, you can get your plays off for days, and there's nothing really stopping you except monster effects from getting your plays off, and as well as spells. I mean, spells aren't as big of a deal, but traps are a big thing in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. Especially with things like Anti-Spell Fragrance becoming a big deal. You know, it's there. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the extra deck. Again, the extra deck is 1 card off from being done. And yeah, so let me go ahead and tell you what I would put in there, or what I was thinking about putting. So we have 2 Shooting Quasar Dragon. This card is used with Kaleido Mirror, and you can use it to bring out 2 Brionic at once for the Exobeetle play. Or you can do a Valk and a Unicorn. You can do a Trishula and Colossus. There's so many combos with this card that you can do. That's why I run 2 of them. You never know when you're going to need it. That's why I play 2 of them. So, like I said, with the Exobeetle strategy, we have 1 Shooting Star Dragon, and it's a Ghost Rare. I'm sorry, it's going to be hard to see. But Shooting Star Dragon, really good card in combination with Quasar and Exobeetle, so that's why we run 1 of him. Gaia Knight, the Force of Earth. If you ever need to just quickly summon that 1 Brionic, that's why I play him. So we have 2 Herald of Arclight. This card is super duper awesome with Unicorn and Kaleido Mirror. You can just send this card to the graveyard and then get off a free Ritual Monster Search. What more could you ask for? It's just like Shrit, and you get free pluses off of the deck, so that's really good. I play 1 Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. Really love this card. Never know when you're going to need it. I was thinking about putting Gaga Cowboy in place of this card, but I'm still stewing over it. Let me know what you guys think. 1 Abyss Dweller. This deck isn't heavily reliant on Xyz monsters, but sometimes it does help to have something like this on the field, especially when it gets its attack boost, because you have a water monster attached to it. Nekroz are water monsters, so they get a free plus out of that. So we have 1 Castel. Once again, this card is super awesome. It can get rid of problems and things like that, so Castel's a must-to-play. We have 1 or 2 Lavalval Chain. Lavalval Chain in this deck is a super important piece of the deck. This is actually one of the cards I'm missing because it's so expensive, but with the premium gold it's a lot easier to obtain. But yeah, Lavalval Chain with 2 of them. It's a really good deck. You can top deck any card or just send things you don't want to the graveyard if you wanted to, which it doesn't come up very often, but yeah, the choice is there. And let me just go ahead and okay. That's totally fine. Sorry, I like to have them organized. Then we play 1 101. Again, never know when you're going to need to, you know, take something or protect yourself. 101 does a very good job of that. I'm sorry. 101 does a very good job of protecting himself, so that's why we play 1 of him. 1 Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. Rarely does this deck ever lose advantage or your opponent gets a full field, but you do use your resources rather quickly, and it's very difficult to bounce back from something like that if you don't take aim quickly. If you have the ability to get a Senju or a Manju and a Unicorn out, and you have less cards in your hand and field than your opponent does, this guy is probably your better option. So that's why we play one of him, just in case. So we have Insector Exobeetle here, again with that Brionac play. I know we only have 2 Brionics now, it's kind of a risky play, but still you get a 3000 beater when you equipped it with Quasar, and if you wanted to, you can get rid of Quasar, bring out that Shooting Star Dragon, and then you still have your Exobeetle, and you have a Shooting Star Dragon on the field. But we also play this card, which is Gaia Dragon the Thunder Charger, which can overlay over Exobeetle, and then you have a 2600 beater, and also a 3300 beater, and anything you may have Ritual Summoned or Normal Summoned this turn. This is a super awesome strategy, and I love doing this to my opponent. I think it's really, really funny when he sees the stacked field that I have. So, let me just go ahead and tell you guys about my side deck. And once again, it's not done, and it is far from perfect. I actually do want to get your guys' thoughts on my side deck, see if you guys like it, what you would change, what you would add. I definitely do want some input on this. I definitely want people to tell me if I'm doing something wrong. So, again, 1 card missing from the side deck. So for my side deck, I do have 1 Dance Princess Nekroz, just in case I ever need it. We have the 1 Colossalus, again, just in case I ever need a game where I need to search more spells or traps and take game faster. We have that 3rd MST in our side deck, never know when you're going to need it. We play Double Twister, again, if you need more support for pop and back road stuff, if your opponent's very heavily reliant on traps, and Royal Decree never comes to your hand, or he has a lot of spell cards that are giving you problems, you know, this is a good card to have, and they have to be face up. Shared Ride for that mirror match, or a deck that just likes to search a lot. Shared Ride's such a good card. I don't really like playing Mistake in this deck because then it prevents me from searching, which is a huge problem. I would just rather go plus off my opponent's searches, so Shared Ride's a really good card to have in that aspect. We have 2 Smashing Ground, doesn't target, destroys, really good card. I love this card, I play 2 of them. There's nothing really more to say about it. These are some cards that I may or may not take out, except the last one I'm going to show you. 2 Spell Shattering Arrows, Clifford's Earth Thing. I still don't know whether I like this card, but it's still decent, and I like to play it just in case my opponent does have something. 2 Upstart, just in case I need to add a little more consistency to the deck. Again, this side deck is not perfect. Most people wouldn't side an Upstart Goblin, but, you know, I'm not most people. And then we have Book of Eclipse. I love Book of Eclipse. Some people don't see why when it lets your opponent go plus, but I see Book of Eclipse as kind of saving your monsters and your plays, keeping you defended, things like that. That's why I like to play Book of Eclipse, if I could speak English properly. So yeah, that's my Nekroz deck. I'm sorry it was a long video, but I like to explain everything to you guys in detail. So go ahead and give us a comment, like, share, and subscribe for more videos here at TCG Source. And also give us a check out on Facebook, give us a like, and check our videos from there rather than having to constantly check out our YouTube channel. And please, guys, give me some insight and input, and ask me any questions you'd like. I've had a lot of time testing this deck, and I really want some input. I really want to know what I can change. I want to know what I can put in. I may or may not take your advice, depending on whether I like the card or I don't find it to be useful or whatever. But hey, I've had other people give me criticism, and I've taken it well, and I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you guys think of my deck, so write it in the comments below. And I want to thank you guys again so much for watching, and you all stay lucky. Bye-bye.
Got me.